Previously on Ballz.
Hello.
Jackers?
You?
Oh, thank goodness. At least the operations have not affected those dulcet tones.
No.
It's Darren and John and Simon and Kanox at the Ballz team. How are you doing?
Hello, buddy. I'm good, thank you, man.
That's good. I believe you've had a couple of ops already to take the tumours
Yeah,
from...
we've got the tumours out of the way.
Good.
And now it's just in order to stop them growing back. It's radiation now for 7 weeks.
All right, radiation, eh? So that's not chemo, it's radiation.
Yeah, correct.
All right, cool.
The lesser of the two evils.
All right.
Together.
And what did the docs say when they took the tumours out? I mean, do they think they got it all, and just is the radiation purely a precautionary just to make sure that everything does get nuked?
I'd like to think that, Darren. When he took the first one, there was only one on there, and he took on the vocal cord. He took it off and said, and then the pathology report back was that it was great, got it all off, and now. And I didn't even need radiation, just needed checkups. So everybody's really happy bunny. I went back for my first checkup 3 weeks after that operation, and that was when he saw something else and said that could be scar tissue, but I want it off there, and we'll send it away and just make sure. They sent it away, and it was another malignant tumour. So something else had grown in quite a quick space of time. So he said, I can't just keep delving down into your throat with a razor blade. We got to do this properly now. So he said he ordered the radiation.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, that's as we say, err on the side of caution. That's always the route they take. And yeah, I mean that's 7 weeks you've got. And when do you start with the radiation?
Started yesterday.
First one.
The second one. Yeah, first one yesterday. Second one today. I've just come from there now. Okay. And it's every day, Monday to Friday, for 7 weeks.
For 7 weeks. Sure. Well, we wish you all the best, Jackers, but you're sounding in good spirits, and I think
it's just, you just don't know how lucky I am. I mean, if it hadn't been for Laura Russell, who diagnosed this whole thing purely because she's a speech therapist and lectures at UCT, and she happens to be a cricket fan. And she happened to be on maternity leave, which meant that she listened to more cricket than normal. And she noticed a change in my voice. And she phoned her dad, who I know very well, Malcolm. And he rang me and said, look, we think, Laura thinks you should have somebody have a look, just in case there's something going on down there. We don't know that. And I did, So it's a T1 cancer, which is they're graded T1, 2, 3, and 4, 1 being the least and 4 being the highest. Excuse me, and so but for her expert ear, and I could have carried on as normal for a couple of years, and who knows what might have been the end result of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, I mean, as you say, just
greatly indebted to her. Yeah,
it's amazing how just small moments and sometimes like circumstances can actually turn your life 180 degrees or 360 degrees, whichever way. Just by a small moment like that. Well, as we say, you're sounding in good spirits. I mean, the radiation not knocking you in any way, or
not yet. I think it's a bit early. They do say there are side effects. One of them being getting very tired. Another, there will be a slow deterioration to my voice over a period of time, and then after radiation, there's like a 4 to 6 week recovery before I would be fit to get back on the air, as it were.
So your voice will recover back to the voice we know. Yeah.
Yeah. No reason why it shouldn't.
Fantastic.
If it's a little bit gruffer, so what?
Yeah. That's great news. And also, as we were saying, a man with your outlook on life and your positivity will plough through this without any problem whatsoever. So we've no doubts that you'll get to the other side and be back to the old
I'm very
Jackers.
confident, mate. I'm very confident. Thank you.
Fantastic, Jackers. And obviously giving you a bit of time to put the feet up and watch a little bit of the test matches when you're not going to the clinic. What did you think of test number 1?
It was a really good game of cricket. It's a pity that a day was taken out of it.
A day and a player.
Better game of cricket. Day and a player, yeah. I've got my own thoughts about this player business, and I'm not saying it just because it happened to be a South African, but because I've been saying it on air for 10 years now. Why why is cricket the only sport that hasn't moved forward in terms of genuine substitutes? Particularly at test level, there's a huge amount that they're playing for. There is 4 umpires and a match referee, which is a perfect scenario to be able to say to the match referee, we've lost JP Duini, who's a batsman who bowls a little bit. We want to replace him with Faf du Plessis, who's a batsman, and he bowls a little bit. Like for like, what's wrong with that?
Yeah.
I cannot see what the problem is,
Yeah.
It's archaic as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, back to the game.
Well, I mean, just on that point,
good game.
Sorry, Jack, just on that point, I mean, it's not that he was lost in a game situation where, he was hurt by someone bowling or in any. I mean, it was in a warm down, which it can happen to anyone. So, and no team's going to do that deliberately to lose a player so they can replace him with someone out when they've just selected him. So it is a stupid rule, and they should change it.
Yeah, I mean, he hadn't even taken part in the game yet.
Yeah, exactly. Why would
I would take it further. I would still say if somebody got injured, broke a hand or whatever, it means he can't bat. Why not like replacement as passed by the judge, by the match referee?
Yeah.
Give the match referee something to do.
Yeah.
Make him make some decisions. Just sits there monitoring things. Doesn't make any decision.
Yeah. Because I mean that could have been key in the context of the first innings. I mean,
absolutely.
Extra runs, and also obviously we were bowling with one less bowler. So I mean, there's a massive factor taken out in the game, which really put pressure on us, particularly while we were out in the field.
Yeah, precisely. Anyway, I wish JP well. It's such a blow for him because he was really playing some super cricket right now, and he's going to be out for, I would say, somewhere between 4 and 6 months. So they tell me. So I feel for him. I'm very concerned about no balls, Darren. I'm worried about that. We keep getting wickets with no balls, which is, I mean, Morne Walker's now got 6 test wickets, which won't be registered because he's got 6 test wickets in a reasonably short career with no balls, and it's going to keep happening now that we've got this dedicated umpire with a camera who can intervene at any fall of a wicket to say, hold it, I want to look at that again. Now that is in place, excuse me, now that that's in place, it's going to happen more and more. It's even more important for these guys to get behind the line and not just rely on whether the umpire in the middle is going to call no ball.
Yeah. I'm just thinking in terms of that, and when I saw what was going on, and particularly with the second one, and the Aussies also did it as well. It happened this morning, I think, with Hashim, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right.
Can it be a factor where maybe, as you say, a run-up might be more downhill than they'd be normally used to, or the wind conditions, the wind blowing behind versus can put your stride out, and should that not be something that the guys who go and mark the run-outs before the game take into consideration, and the guys actually factor that in? Is that it? Do you think that's a factor at all?
I think it makes a lot of sense, and it definitely can be a factor. I can remember when I played on a county circuit, playing at home and rain downhill I hated it because you were completely off balance when you hit the crease. But having said all that, these guys nowadays, the ground is available to them for days before the test match.
Yeah.
Any groundsman will be perfectly happy to give you a middle wicket that you can run in and bowl on, and we see it happening in warm-ups all the time.
Yeah.
And therefore, and that approach is going to be exactly the same as the one on the pitch. I mean, whatever slope is there is going to apply to every pitch on the square. So there's no excuse for it. There really is no excuse for it, and it's, as I say, going to become a bigger factor worldwide, not just South Africa, but worldwide, because of the new dedicated TV screen that the third umpire has got to stare at all day.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, I was actually casting my mind back to thinking how many other wickets have fallen, how many games have been turned on a decision where a guy might have stepped over. And I mean, TV has always been sort of, had the TV replay, but TV has never really concentrated when a wicket's gone down on whether the guy bowled a no ball or not. I mean, no, it wasn't really a focus there. Although, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, But did someone pick up in that semi-final in '99? Damien Fleming bowling that what turned out to be the last ball, that he'd stepped over as well, but it had never obviously been called.
No. You see that, but then it couldn't be. If the umpire missed it, that was it. It was gone. Now it's not the same. It's not the same. We have this other umpire who's watching specifically for no balls, and he doesn't do anything about them if nothing happens or runs are scored or whatever. It's only when a wicket falls that does he intervene. If he thinks it's close, then he wants to have another look.
Yeah. All right. Well, yes, Simon.
I just want to ask Jackers, do you think that the Proteas will take heart from this performance, considering how successful Australia have been in Brisbane, or do you think that they'll feel that they've let themselves down a bit heading into the second test?
I think that another way of putting it, I guess, is I think there's been a mind shift where South Africa went into this test match very, very confident, happy with the way that they've been playing. Australia was still trying to find the right combination. Big blow to them that Watson wasn't playing, and so on. South Africa won the toss, got 450, and would have probably got more if A, Dooney had been fit, and B, they hadn't lost a day to rain, because they tried to hurry things up on the last day, on the third day. There's no doubt about that. And then 40 for 3. So it was really all South Africa, and then suddenly the Clark and Hussey and all that lot made it, and the debutant made a huge dent to the confidence, I think, of the South African side. So I reckon going into the Adelaide Test, if we're going to talk momentum, it's with the home team, it's with the Australians.
Yeah, and again, just shows how crucial that one no ball was, because there would have huge pressure on Australia at that time. Could have been a completely different story.
Yeah.
Jackers, thank you very much for your time, for chatting to us this afternoon. We wish you all the best with your recovery.
Thank you.
And
thanks.
All the best, my friend.
All the best. Give me a ring anytime.
Thanks, Jackers. Cheers, man.
Bye.
Thanks, guys. Cheers now.
There we go. Robin Jackman joining us on Ballz this afternoon.
This is Ballz Visual Radio. Darren, Simon, Kate and John. Weekdays from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central African Time. Ballz.co.za